I'm Dee. I own the Mur Salon in Guilford and Mur on Main in Brantford. The clearer vision of what I want to do with my business is to get out of my own way. I don't have to do everything. And I think that is the hardest thing because I want to do everything. I love doing hair. That's where I started with this whole thing was hair. I know I could crank it out 5 days a week and pull in money, but I need to teach my staff how to do that. That's the most important thing.
Most salons, they do everything. But here you can always find a niche. You can always find someone that, hey, they do really nice lived-in color, whereas someone else could be a better barber. We try to teach everything to find what their niche is. And it's just like we're always learning from each other because, again, we don't get to do that a lot in this industry. We're always going over the guest experience because the guests are 100% our top priority.
We're big on asking if anybody has any allergies because we want to make sure that the products that we're using aren't going to give you an allergic reaction. Our line is coconut water based, but we do have some people who come in with a coconut allergy, and we're always very on top of asking clients, like, do you have an allergy or a sensitivity to coconut or marula oil? We're using something because we do care, and we want to make sure that our products are just as good for our clients as they are for the environment, as they are for animals. Our biggest thing is that we want to make sure that everything is cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free, and color safe.
And we want to make that known, and we want to be different, and we want everyone to want to come back. That's why we always try to have everyone reach out to their clients after about a week. We reach out to them, say, hey, are you liking your hair? Just checking in, because there's a lot of stylists that don't do that.
We give a 7-day adjustment policy, which gives clients more than enough time to go home, assess their hair, and then kind of come back in and see if they would like any adjustments. Our biggest reason for having an adjustment policy is because sometimes when you go home, you might not love your hair the way you're seeing it at home. It might look great when you leave the salon, but then you get home and you're like, this piece is out of whack. This little piece doesn't belong here. My color looks a little off around my forehead. And we just want to make sure that everybody is thoroughly satisfied with the service that they're given. And as far as even taking walk-ins go, we are willing to take anybody who just walks in the door. And if we don't have time for them right at that moment, we will make sure that we can give them the service that they're looking for.
We're also open until 8 o'clock at night most times during the week. So we're trying to accommodate those busy people. For me, I'm the walk-in client. I wake up one morning, I'm like, I need a haircut, a color in the works today. That's why I like having what we have here. So that people can feel like, okay, I can just walk in and get whatever. And they know no matter what stylist they go to, it's gonna be really good.
When it comes to clients, we're always making sure that we're giving 100% to our clients. We're always going over consultations. Consultations are so important because what we talk about in a consultation is, what are your wants? Like, what do you want out of this appointment? If it's a color, if it's a haircut, if it's anything. And what I like to ask and what I've taught the staff is, what don't you want? Something that you don't want. These are questions that most people don't ask, but it's gonna set you apart because no one's ever asked that. And people are like, no one's ever actually given me a consultation. But it's so important to have a consultation and to explain, like, what are things that you've gotten done in the past that you hated? Why have you not found someone that can give you what you need? Because it probably boils down to you didn't have that conversation. But it's so important, and I've noticed with the staff here that once they do give that amazing consultation, there's no room for not understanding the client and what their needs are.
And even when it comes to doing like custom projects and creative color and all that, it's kind of a really big deal to us. We always want to make sure that the stylist is comfortable with doing the service and that the client knows what they want. And we also do an extensive color history because knowing what's in the hair is only going to determine the result of the hair, and that gives us a better idea as to how long it's going to take, which gives us a better idea of how much time to quote the client for so that there are no surprises. We always want to make it so there's no sticker shock and that everybody always knows the value of the service that they're getting. We really try to curate our stylist schedules so that it works for their lives. We have a lot of stylists that are mothers. And we know that our mothers, they want to work while their kids are in school, and they want to go home and spend time with their family. For our mothers, we really try not to put them on a closing shift, but if they are closing, it's not every single day of the week. We try to make sure that everybody has at least one closing shift a week because we feel like that's fair to among the team.
So when I became pregnant, I thought I had to prove myself even more. But within that, Dee was incredible. She always tries to make sure that moms are always taken care of. So she'll always check in, making sure we're good. Up until that last week, I was very pregnant and they were always like, can I wash hair? Hey, can you help wash her client? She literally cannot stand another second. Her feet are swollen. But she always makes it a point to check in with us. Is your schedule doing well? How are you doing? She always cares about us and our mental health.
If anybody has a special request or they need a day off, we always try to go above and beyond to accommodate them as long as it works with the team schedule. And if it doesn't, then we will try to accommodate them elsewhere where we know that it's not going to hinder their schedule or their clients' availability to get in with them.
Leadership means the most to me right now, which is why my two managers, they're fantastic. They're more hands-on with my staff. I right now am more hands-on with them. I'm focused on them and building a strong leadership culture within us three, which again, most salons don't have. I don't think other salons have salon managers. Their salon managers are stuck behind the chair. My salon manager, I get pissed when she does hair. I don't want her doing hair because that distracts her from her real job, but she has the opportunity. She wants to make more money. She can do as much hair as she wants.
This industry is not the most forgiving industry. We've all come from salons that weren't the best, weren't the nicest to us, and she's really changing this industry for the better. And I love that I get to be a part of that. All the stylists here have also had that same problem, and this salon is just showing that we can change this industry. It doesn't have to be this way. We can have a sense of community. All salons can have a sense of community, and we don't have to all be fighting against each other.
We just really go above and beyond, I think, especially for our stylists. We want to make sure that they're getting paid time off, they're getting sick time, and we do that for our stylists who work full-time because if you're working full-time, you need those benefits. We don't want anybody else to have to go and get a second job so that they can afford health insurance. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. These people are spending hours and hours a week with us, and we want to make sure that they're well taken care of. We also offer a CT savings program, which is directly offered through the state, which is wrapped right into our payroll. So the stylists don't even have to worry about putting money into a 401k. It's just done automatically for them, which I think is unheard of in hair salons. They do accrue paid time off and sick time, which I think is so important because things happen, people get sick, maybe their kid got sick, and if nobody's available to take care of their child, who else is going to besides the parents, right?
And there's so many ways to expand in this industry, and I don't think other salon owners are thinking about it like that. So that's why I think that we have something special, and by having Main Street instead of being tucked away in Brushy Plains, which served me well. Like, I needed that for that time. But I hope that 2026 is the year we finally pop off and people see what we are.
I think Dee is changing this industry one day at a time, and I think it's incredible.
She really took her hairdressing career and turned it into more so of an empire. And I think it's really special to recognize that because without her and her clientele that she curated throughout the years, we wouldn't have any of this, and we wouldn't be able to have these benefits that we have, or the schedules, or the inclusivity, or the care in the community that we have without her. I've been in this industry for 9 years, and I've never had that anywhere that I worked besides the Mur.
I came in this industry to create a career, to have the paid time off, the paid sick time, the benefits, to give stylists what other salon owners could never give me.